Okay, so, like I said in my last video, I said I was going to talk about something. And this is something I need to talk about because it's important. Because I've been interested into the whole draw my life thing. And I think it'll be cool if I start talking about my life. And I know people thinking, oh, that's going to be boring. Not really. My life is pretty boring, but it's not as boring as you think. I was born on May 12th, 1992. I was born in Pinderfields Hospital. From my mother, Angela Greenwood, and from my father, Alan Greenwood. When I was born, I was quite chubby, which was sort of normal for babies at that sort of point. I was a normal, healthy, happy baby, and I can't remember what it is, but I think the doctors give you an injection when you're a baby, so then you can resist sort of the diseases that you can catch at an early age, and that blocked some oxygen going to my brain. And because of that, some of the brain cells that died in my brain, and because of that, I received autism and Asperger's spectrum disorder, which is something that children get when they don't get enough oxygen in a part of their brain, or in their brain. Sometimes it can be really low and it won't affect the child too much. Sometimes it can be really high and it could affect the child greatly. It might, what's that word? It might, stop them from talking at the right age, or, you know, it's sort of hard to explain. But how I like to explain it as, sometimes in some people, you don't know something in one part of the brain, but you know something really well in the other part. So, for example, I suck at English. Or I used to. I still do, actually. I'm not good at grammar, and I'm not good at spelling too much of big words. But I love maths. I'm sort of good at maths. I'm not brilliant, but I love it. I love computers, but I hate stuff like patience and stuff like that. But luckily, I was one of the people that was really low, so I wasn't affected too much when I was young. I walked, I talked, I had a bit of a talking problem, but that sort of cleared up. I still sort of have a talking problem. Like, sometimes I can't think of words, because I don't think of what I'm going to say, I just say whatever comes out of my mouth. So sometimes in a conversation, I'll swear by accident because I don't think. And sometimes I can't think of the word I need to think of when I have to explain something. So I always bend my, forehead, trying to think. So sort of like Winnie the Pooh, just think. So, I was, I was basically a normal girl. I went to primary school, and I didn't know I had autism until I was moved to a different primary school because they couldn't care for me, because they weren't used to autism at that school, and I was sent to another primary school, Warfield Lane, and I was very shy and scared because I wasn't used to moving to a different school, and plus it was really far away from my home. It was in Wakefield, and I didn't have a lot of friends. That's not to say I'm not a friendly person. I'm a very friendly person, but I don't like to make a lot of friends because I don't go out to to parties or anything like that. I'm not that type of person to do that sort of thing. So I went to Lawfield Lid School. I moved there, and what happened is, I think my first week, it was pretty alright, but then two girls, Leanne and Jeanette, came up to decide, oh, that fat girl deserves a bullying, because I was quite a fat girl. So they didn't bully me physically. It was all words and stuff. So they picked on me for like a day or so, and then Leanne, the older one, she noticed me crying because I didn't like it at all. And she apologised, and then Jeanette came and apologised, and I said, it's okay, I understand. And then they said, do you have autism? And I'm like, I don't know, what's autism? And they said, oh, it's like something we have. And they were my first friends. And I know people are going to say, what the frig, you decided to make your bullies your friends? In a sense, yes. They apologised for their actions. They said that they got picked on. So, in a sense, it's sort of like Babseed. They got picked on, so then they picked on someone. So then they said, oh, and then they explained autism to me, and then I'm just like, oh, okay. I was pretty okay with it. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, okay, I've got this condition, that's okay. And, so, I continued in college for a while, not in college, in primary school for a while. I continued on in primary. I helped some younger kids when they were getting bullied by this older boy. What I did was, because it was still in primary school, I decided to use my physical weight as a helping tool. So when the boy was picking on the little girls, what I did was, he was on his own, so he had basically no help. So what I did was, I didn't jump, I sort of like leaped myself onto him and pinned him to the ground. I told the girls to go get the teachers. They did, and then the boy actually apologised and said that he got picked on because he was sort of a new kid, but the girls were just younger. And he said he got picked on, and he had a condition as well. And I said that's okay, and we became friends. His name was Daniel. He was pretty cool. And then it was time to move to high school. Now, when I did this, I made a resolution that I wouldn't use a physical way to stop a bully. I would try to stop it verbally. Now, me and Jeanette, we kept very close together because we kept a nice tight group, and we made more friends. We made a friend called Martin. He was really cute. He was a little tiny boy. He was really nice. And we kept a close-knit group. There was a special place there for the special needs people to go, like the autistic people and the Asperger's people. And so we always stayed there because it was a safe zone for us. We would always be sort of safe in that area. At least safe from the physical bullying. So what happened was, we still got picked on. We got called names. I got called Fat Turkey Sumo because I was obviously fat. Jeanette got called Troll Ogre because she was really tall. And my little friend Martin, I don't think he actually got called any names, but I think maybe he got called short at one time, but I don't think it mattered to him. I don't think he cared too much. He was actually like a really shy boy, but he just didn't care. He didn't get picked on as much. I think it's because he was a boy, and they like to pick on girls because they think girls are weaker. So what happened was, these bullies, they weren't like Jeanette and Leanne where they apologised afterwards. They had a different condition, Ron, and they went to a different type of. They were still in high school, in my same high school, but they didn't go to the same place that me and the other kids went. They had to go to a different place because they had a different condition. So I think it was for people like with the Tourette's or the ADHD kids. They went to a different part of the school to stay because they were more problematic. That's it. That's the word. They were more problematic. So what happened was 2 years, I think, or a year, one of the two. A boy decided he'd want to take it a step further. So he was about to punch, I think, my other two friends, Jeanette and Martin. He was about to physically abuse them. I came walking up. I was coming back from a class, I think. And then again, my memory's not 100% clear. It's still sort of blurry because it was a long time ago. And I said loudly, if you're going to pick on someone, pick on me. And this boy, I think he was steaming mad. I can't remember his name. I don't care about his name, actually. and I don't really care about him. So he was steaming mad. He were angry. He looked at me really furiously. So he came up to me and punched me and kicked me. And this lasted for at least either a few weeks or a few months, one of the two. Once again, I can't remember too much. It was so blurry. I got bruises. My mum actually found out one time when I got bruises, and she said, "Oh, what happened?" I said, "Oh, I got picked on at school, but don't tell them." And you're probably gonna think, "Oh, so what? Did your mum ring up?" And I'm like, and she didn't really. And you're probably thinking, "Well, why?" Because I told her, if you ring up and tell them, he'll go and hurt my friends. When parents ring up about bullies, usually nothing is done. Usually the bully gets like a week suspension and then that's it. And like, if he finds out that I've told my mum, he'll go and pick up my friends, and they're not as strong as me, especially Martin, and he was a little lad. And because, and like, so I said, if he's gonna want to hurt someone, he'd rather hurt me than my friends. I didn't like that. I didn't want my friends hurt because they were more fragile than I was. So, around this point of time, my dad became disabled. Now, my dad, he was an awesome father. He took us out a lot. He took us to his pub. Well, it wasn't his pub, but he worked there. No, before you say anything, it wasn't late at night. It was like usually around. Sorry. It was either early morning or around dinner time-ish. We played the tabletop Space Invaders. That was old, but we played it. It was really cool. And the owner had dogs. He'd always let us like have some cola because they served cola at that bar. So, you know, me and my sister would always like play some Space Invaders. It was really fun. And like he'd always take us out everywhere he could. He was a pretty cool father. Sadly, he got a tumour in his brain, so he went to have an operation, and because of that, his legs became disabled, and he lost some of the brain functions. So he couldn't take us out anymore, and it was real sad. I kind of miss my father because he's not the same. I mean, people probably still thinking, well, at least you could be worse. Your dad could be dead. Well, not really. In a sense, I think that would be better than him staying here because we take care of him, but he feels more like an investment for money. So then we wouldn't be bankrupt because if he died, we won't have much money left, but we take care of him. He gets fed, he gets cleaned and stuff. And around that time, I think we got a dog at that time as well, and he passed away. I think it was after high school. He passed away. He had brain cancer, and we put him down. That was pretty sad as well. And anyway, I'll finish the bully story first, but I'm going to stop it and come back. So I'll see you in a bit.